Hello, this is Dr. Mears with Solving Multi-Step Equations. We've been solving multi-step equations and we've been using this little flow chart. It is in our ISN. So I would like you to take our ISN out and turn to this flow chart. I believe it's going to be on page 34 because we're going to add a couple things in. So why don't you press pause, get out your ISN and turn to page 34. Okay, welcome back. On your flowchart, I would like you to input some information. First, where it says combine like terms on each side, I need you to put in no inverse. A lot of students make this mistake. They use inverses, such as if we're adding, they would be trying to undo the term by subtracting. But when we combine terms on each side, we don't need to use inversers. We just combine them. And I would also like you to add in a 2b step, which would make this a 2a step. In a 2b step, it says move like terms to one side. Use inverse operations. So that means after you've combined them, there may be terms on each side, and we may need to move all of the variables to one side of the equal sign. So why don't you take a minute, pause the video, add this in, and I'll be back in 1 minute. All right, welcome back again. I'm going to close my ISN, or actually I'm just going to put it aside because we're going to be doing some examples. Here you have your video, variables on both sides for multi-step equations, and we're going to be doing a few of these, and you must follow along and write down along as I do the example. The first one that we have here is 5x minus 7 equals x minus 1 plus 2. The first step in our flowchart, and that's the flowchart that we just had, is use the distributive property to remove parentheses on each side of the equal sign. We have no parentheses here, so we don't need to do that. Next, combine like terms on each side, no inverse. So here we have like terms. We have minus 1 and plus 2. So if I split these up, just like we've been doing when combining like terms, minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 plus 2. And that would be giving us a positive 1. So I'm going to rewrite this, 5x minus 7, bring down my equal sign, bring down my x, and instead of writing these two numbers, I'm going to write my plus 1. Now my 2b step says that you just wrote in, move like terms to one side. Use inverse operations. So notice I have an x on the left side of my equal sign, and if we jump over, I have an x on my right side. This is actually a 1x, so let's go and put our 1's in. I usually like to move the term with the lower coefficient, so I'm going to undo this positive 1x by subtracting it from both sides. That cancels this one out. I have 6x minus 7 equals, bringing down my 1. Brought down my positive 1, brought down my equal sign, brought down my minus 7, and, oh, it's not 6x. What is it? It's actually 4x. Thank you very much. So 5 minus 1 is 4x. There we go. And we just did step 2b. Number 3 says undo addition or subtraction. We have subtraction, so let's add 7 to both sides. Bring down my 4x, 1 plus 7 is 8, divide by 4, x equals 2, and we can check that if we want to by substituting it back in. But we are solving, so let's move on with solving. Step number 1 for this equation, let's read it. N plus 2 equals 6n minus 2 minus 4n minus 4. So the first step would be, in our flowchart, use the distributive property to remove parentheses. We don't have parentheses, so let's go to 2a. Combine like terms on each side, no inverse. So this side has n plus 2. These are not alike because, you guessed it, 2 doesn't have an n next to it, so it's not attached by multiplication. So we cannot combine those because they're not like terms. Over on this side, we have a few like terms. So if you want to think about it, just how we were combining like terms, this would be a good way to go. So here we're going to separate all of our terms like we've been doing in the previous worksheets practicing. And then let's arrange them. We have a 6n, cross that out, a minus 4n, cross it out, a minus 2 and a minus 4 here. 6 minus 4n is 2n. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. So now I'm at 2n minus 6. So notice how that negative became my minus. I will now bring down my equal sign, bring down my plus 2, and bring down my n. So I dropped all of this down here. So my new equation is n plus 2 equals 2n minus 6. Now we're going to be doing step 2b. 2b says move like terms to one side. Here we use inverses. Now we can bring either this 1n, I'm going to put my 1 in front over here, or the 2n over to the other side. Let's move the 1n over. Minus 1n, minus 1n. The reason why it's minus is because here it was originally plus. Bring down my plus 2, my equal sign, 2n minus 1n equals 1n minus 6. Step 3 says undo addition or subtraction. So let's add this 6 to both sides. 1n equals 2 plus 6 is 8. And that's what we want. We want what 1n equals, and 1n equals 8. Moving on to step number 3, or not step number 3, I'm sorry. Moving on to number 3. 7x minus 13 equals 2x minus 8. So no parentheses to distribute. Let's go on to combining like terms. No like terms on this side of the equal sign. Let's jump over. No like terms on this side. Let's go to step 2b. Move like terms to one side. I'm going to undo this positive 2x by subtracting it. Again, I like to pick the lower coefficient. We had 2 and 7. So I like to move the 2. 7 minus 2x is 5x. Bring down your minus 13, our equal sign, and our minus 8. Now move on to step 3, undo addition or subtraction. So let's add this 13 to this minus 8. So our 13 minus 8 is going to give us 5. So we're going to cross out the 13. 5x equals 5. Divide by 5, divide by 5, and x equals 1. And we're pretty good. Step number 4 really looks like what we did in number 2 up above. X plus 5 equals negative 2 plus 4x minus 6 minus 8. Oh, there's that bell. So what we're going to do is we're going to, again, separate these. And negative 2 minus 6 minus 8, those are a lot of terms to combine, and then we have positive 4x. Negative 2 minus 6 is going to be 8, minus another 8 gives us negative 16, and then plus 4x equals x plus 5. Going to have to almost rush a little bit here because we're going to have students coming in. 5 equals negative 16 plus 3x, because this was minus 1x, plus 16 plus 16, and we're going to get 21 equals 3x, x equals 7 by division. I'm just going to do number 5 really quick. This integrates that first step where we have to distribute. So we have 40 minus 7r equals negative 16r minus 14. I'm going to bring over, let's bring over our plus 16r plus 16r. So we have negative 7 plus 16, and that's going to give us 9. So we'll cross that out. 40 minus 9r, oh, actually, it's plus 9r, equals negative 14. Let's subtract 40 from both sides. I hear knocks on my door. 40, this is going to give us negative 54. Divide by 9, and r is going to equal negative 6. So number 5 is negative 6. I hope this helped. Sorry it was a little quick. I'll do another video if you would like. Just let me know. Thank you. Bye.